It has taken me 15 years to learn in chess. I'll be teaching you in only a couple of minutes. Today, we'll be playing against Stockfish Level 6, the lead chess engine, and we'll be running through the process from the opening, middle game, and the end game, uh, if we reach that far. And I'll be sharing my thoughts, tips, and tricks that can maybe help you on your journey throughout every phase of the game. I'm going to start with one d4. So the queen's pawn game, he goes e5, oh, the engine goes e5. So wanting to play a gambit, temporarily they're going to give up the pawn. Okay, this is known as the England gambit, but here they could go for like knight c6. This is standard stuff. He goes d6. So we could take, right? And if they do take, they'll probably take here. So we would be up a pawn, but they'd be getting a lot of space and time. So I'm not going to take the second pawn. I'm going to go knight f3. Another important principle, develop your pieces as soon as possible. In this case, I'm trying to develop my knight as soon as possible because I want to get it out early, then my bishop, and then I want to castle my king into safety. This is what we always try and do. Get your king into safety as soon as possible, most of the time. So now he goes bishop g4, attacking here, of course, and trying to take away the defense of e5. So let's say I played a slow move, let's say b3. He would take here, I would take, and then he just gained back the pawn. Okay, so now since he went bishop there, I think I can take now. So we will probably take with this bishop. That we're also developing, because if he takes with the queen, we could have just traded queens. So now I think what would be fine is to go pawn to e3. Pawn to e3, yes, does open up here, but we get to play our bishop and castle soon as possible. We are a bit behind in development. We'll probably move the queen or the knight. And, oh, he goes back with the bishop, right? Maybe he thought I want to go for some knight jumps to trade more pieces. But now we've achieved our first goal, which is to castle our king into safety. Normally, I try and have the king castled into safety by as early as move 10 or as late, the latest move 10. So you can see here by move 7, I don't know if you guys will be able to see, probably does show. We have castled our king into safety. Now the next step. The center is quite open here. This is a very important part in chess where we try and fight for the center. Normally we'd have our pawns here, as you saw in this game, because of the gambit now. There are pawns, no more pawns on here attacking immediately for the center. But I have a pawn we can push here and try and take control. But right now pushing e4 would not be correct. Reason being, e4, his knight will just take. So there's no defense yet. So we can start building it. One way to do this is to maybe think of playing a knight move out. This is one option. We could also maybe try pin this knight on c6 to maybe get this jump in. This is another option. We could also try and trade off some pieces now by going knight to d4, which will result definitely in a trade. The reason why is because the knight here is attacking this knight and the bishop at the same time. So these are some options. And I think, yes, let's go here. Remember, we are up a pawn. So this is a good thing. And it doesn't seem like they have a direct way of getting it back. Our opponent goes bishop to d7, dropping back. So now if we capture here, he'll most likely take back with the bishop, which is also fine. Because if that, we are still good. We are up the pawn. I will now place the bishop here. And we are doing quite well. Simplifying the position. Okay, he goes knight there. So we could take, this is another point I want you to remember, guys. Sniper bishops. Black has got very active bishops here now. And we were trying to trade bishop for bishop, right? So if we took here now, he would have this bishop here. Yes, it's still okay, but black would have a lot of activity. I'll show you. I'll make the move, for example, so you can see what I mean. Here, this is not the real move I'm making. I just want to show you. So now he has a bishop on e4. He's eyeing here. He has this bishop eyeing here. He has the queen coming in as well. So it looks very, very scary, right? Not the move ideally go for, because he could also play h5, g5, a lot of potential for attack there, and that just looks very scary for me, if I'm being very honest. So instead of that, that's not what I want to play. So also important, now that we've passed the opening stage into the middle game, assess the position, right? Don't just rush into trading, as even if you're up a pawn. So here, I'm gonna rather develop my knight, since it's my pieces on the queen side are still on the starting squares. Let's go knight to d2 to add some pressure here. Right. He goes queen there. Of course, if he took here, we would first take with a check, double his pawns, and then just pick up with the queen or the bishop. So here now he does that. Now I don't really mind trading off, because he's going to trade his light square as well. And yes, he will get his queen here, but the big difference now is one piece is off the board, so one less attacker for black. So it's easy now for us. We're up the pawn in a relatively simple position. Not much going on. Black is well developed, of course, but they haven't castled. We could maybe now throw in some maybe potential for queen trades, because we have a comfortable position up a pawn. Maybe not enough to win yet, but definitely our ideas now, as you can see here, this d file is half open because they only have one piece there. We want to get our queen up and our rook. Another important rule, guys, always try and get your rook to open files. So this is why I go queen d4. Queen d4 is to hope for a trade. He doesn't go for the trade, but that's good for us, because now we can just what we call double stack. Right? We can double stack here on the D file, but we need to be careful, because we can go here, but they can castle queenside, and they'd have their rook on D8 and the bishop here, and our queen is lined up and our rook. So, because let's say we play here and he castles, he'd have this potential attack of bishop h2. So now in the middle game, we need to be aware of what? Tactics as well. So this won't be the real move I make, but I want to show you. I go there, he'll most likely castle. So now there's a big threat of bishop takes h2. I take with the queen, with my king, and he takes my queen, and we'd be lost. Now we are in some real trouble, actually, because even if I move my queen here to take, this move still exists. Now it takes, and rook takes. We are down the exchange. But if you look at this is some calculation now. Queen takes here, bishop takes with check. I take with my king. He takes here. We go here. His king moves down. We could take here, but is that the position we would want to play? I'm not too sure, because he would get the queen check. My king would have to run up. Very, very not nice looking, eh? Yeah, we could be in some trouble there. So not something I'd want to do. This shows you the importance of having your queenside pieces developed as well. Because had this bishop been in the game, we wouldn't have to worry about these discoveries here, because we would just move our queen now, and if he did that, we took. If he took, we would have the other rook there. So this is the problem with not developing your pieces. So that is why we do not go for this rook d1 move yet. Instead, what we could maybe try for is to go maybe b3, but b3 is also wrong because of this. Though we do get a check, but it would be a bit complicated. Um, we could try give the check now, actually, because if c6, we could maybe go c4, b3. So let's try. Let's try. Maybe not the best move, but we are stopping these ideas. So he'll probably play c. Oh, he goes king there. King to e7 is also to connect rooks, which is a very important principle in the end games. So now we are sitting with this position. We are up a pawn, but we are not well developed. What can we do? Let's develop our bishop. So bishop to d2, but our opponent has some attacks. They might think of this to threaten a checkmate, but they don't go for it. This would have threatened checkmate, and on b2, that pawn. But our opponent doesn't go for it. They want to play more active. actively. Remember earlier I mentioned on they might go h5, g5. This is what's happening now. But still, not a big problem. We can still handle this. We are up the pawn. We just got to maintain our advantage and try and trade off pieces. We could go bishop to b4 here to try and trade off here, but he'll have c5. So maybe that plan is a bit premature. For now, let's try going bishop to c3. Just getting the bishop on a nice long diagonal, which is always advised and good if you're going there. Here's big check threat now of queen to d4 after king f8. Let's do this. Also, just playing for tempi, attacking there. He can defend it easily, of course. Rook to h7 was away, f6 was away. But now we are suddenly exercising some control here. Here we could even think of going f4, f5, putting pressure on like that, because our e3 pawn is well defended. We just got to be careful for moves like this, but for now we are still doing quite alright. Let's see. Now we could even go rook here. There's another option. It's another option. Um, we could try this, but let's develop our pieces. This is the principle we should try and follow now. All right, we go there. He goes a5. Don't really understand why playing on the flank because the action is around here. Though it is very important, guys, to be aware of the whole board. But as we can see, black's pieces are not well connected. The rooks are now disconnected. This rook is stuck defending this check when maybe f6 was better because now we could have maybe later played rook down here and maybe try and attack here. But for the next couple of moves, this rook is pinned down to that pawn unless they make another plan. Maybe a5 is trying to play rook a6 and bring the rook in that way, but still it's going to take a lot of time. Whereas we have a very direct plan by just playing maybe queen to d5 again, going for a trade. Of course, he takes here, we'll take there. Now we are attacking this pawn twice. And we're just going to double up now. Yeah, now he goes f6. f6 seems like a mistake because now we can take here and just go up 2 pawns. Okay, now we can take there, just giving us, is isolating his pawn. So yes, guys, these are some tricks to remember, Try to develop as early as possible. Castle your king before move 10 generally if you can. Um, get your rooks onto open files, as you can see there. And yeah, look how pinned down his pieces are now, right? Generally also we try and develop our knights before bishops. And this is what we did in this game, and you can see it worked out for us. So now let's try and activate our king next. Let's go for f3 and e4. So we're also building our center. Rook to h8 is fine. He's probably trying to play here, but our bishop defends well there. So now we can go here. You might think of giving a check. Okay, he starts there. So now we've got to watch out again for discoveries. So this move again. But not the problem. We can always just put our rook on d3, which is number one on a light square. So no funny attacks from the bishop. And secondly, it is defended by the c2 pawn. So now it goes h4, trying to play on the king side, but again, shouldn't be much of a problem for us. Now we could even simplify even more, which I think is a winning endgame by going here. No, not yet, not yet. Here he could just take this way, because if he took here with the bishop, we could have taken there, king takes here, pawn takes, and that would be a winning endgame. But now let's concentrate a bit more. It is not a clear win yet. Here we could maybe go bishop to d2. The idea is to build our center with f4. He goes bishop to e5, trying to hit here. But now the simple takes. This is known as simplification. King takes and b3. So this is bishops of the same color in this endgame. Normally it's a draw, but because I'm 2 pawns up, I'm just putting my pawns on light squares, and the plan eventually is to run my king this way and cause overload on this side. So let's see how that goes. King to f2, now in the endgame, a pawn endgame, and king activity is very important here, guys. One thing we need to watch out is that the king doesn't break in here, but it can't because our pawn stop him. If the king could get on the dark squares and down here, we'd be in trouble, but that's not happening now. We just run our king this way. His bishop can't do much. Mine as well, but because we have king activity, we could run our king up here and later on just bring our pawns over. Now I'll just play this move, a waiting move, seeing what they do. It also stops c5. Our opponent goes there to b2, and here is a knockout punch with bishop d4. What bishop d4 does, it attacks here and there. So now we must take, we take with opposition, which is a very important principle in the endgame. We slide this way, all good. The king might go here as well. But now after the simple, let's say we can go a3 here or a4. He goes there. We could even go here. He might try run here. Okay, does not, because if he runs here, we just do that anyway, cause an overload here, here. If he goes there, okay, it does not. We gain opposition. Remember, guys, very important to gain opposition. Here we could even take. So I'm going to show you guys some technique in the end game. The king goes there. We can run this way even and distract the king. Think of it like in rugby or football. When you're distracting your opponent, he has to take care of this. But whilst he does that, we can clean up this side and he'll take here. But now, because we respect our opponent, we don't need to take everything. We just need uh, one pawn to promote and we'll be fine. So now we make our queen and soon enough we prepare our checkmate. We don't even have to take there, as I said. But okay, let's get rid of that one. The king moves, and now it's just about technique. King, queen to b4, so the king can only move up here. Now you'll bring your king over and just give the checkmate, prepare the checkmate. It goes here, here, and after king to a7, you give a checkmate on b7. So there we go, guys. I hope this video was instructive and that you enjoyed it and took away some principles. If you really liked the video, please do hit the like button. And if you really enjoyed it, please do consider giving a sub. I'll see you guys very soon. Thank you for all the love and support. And yeah, let's take care. Keep pushing pawns and stay winning. Goodbye.